Hey everyone, I'm Trish Power Scott.
And I'm Lynn Loria.
Welcome to Two Cents of Sunshine. So, today, our topic of conversation is a great quote that we found, and we just think it's a really important topic to talk to everybody about. And I know you have it in front of you. I don't even
I
have it.
do.
Yeah.
No glasses on, but I'm gonna try my
Mm,
best.
We
Yes.
like to see your cute glasses
Oh,
too.
I know, right? I try to squint, but it just doesn't work sometimes, but
Yeah.
I'm my best. Notice how the GPS never says you made a mistake. It just says recalculating, right? So for driving in 2026, let's embrace the detours, adjust course, and keep moving forward. So I know when you and I saw that, Trish, we're like,
hmm
so true. Something that we have to talk about. I'm gonna let you talk a little bit.
Well, I think like okay, from the start of it, right?
Mhm.
Anything that happens in your life that you need to recalculate is because you can't control it, right? So out of the gate, like we have to recognize the things that we cannot control, and you have to be able to pivot. And that I think is one of the qualities of life that I have mastered. Instead of being stuck back here, well, I wanted to, I should have, I could have, I did. Nope,
Yeah.
we pivot. Like,
Mm.
and you have when you can do that quick, right? And you can just move on with your life, you don't hold on to any of that negativity. This wasn't made for me. I was pushed in a different direction for a reason. I'm moving on. And
Abs
so it's not always your fault either. Like there's just
Mhm.
things that happen.
So true.
And I
So
think
true.
that having that ability to pivot and move forward changes your life, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah,
I
and
love
being
this,
positive.
and there was a quote that I saw after that when I was looking at different quotes for around that topic. It's recalculating equals embracing detours without self-blame. So
Mm,
kind of what, you're saying. So instead of saying, "Poor me,"
right.
being that victim, and how come I made this mistake or how come this is not working out for me. We talked a little bit before about doing projects. When do we know, to quit something? And I
Quit.
hate the word quit,
Not
but for lack
quit,
of
but
better words,
again, pivot. Like,
pivot.
okay, where is the sign? I've done everything I can. Like when before I opened Powerhouse Real Estate, I tried to open another business and I was just getting roadblock, roadblock, roadblock to the point that I got an attorney letter saying cease and desist the use of the name. Somebody actually has it when I applied for it legally. And I was like, okay, this is it. This is my last sign. I'm done here. But it wasn't a failure. It was God putting my path somewhere else. And you don't have to be a God person to believe in the universe or whatever. Like it's not
Absolutely.
supposed to be this way for me. I'm moving on. And then I opened Powerhouse Real Estate and it was like the paths were cleared. Like it was just smooth sailing. Everything was fast. It was quick. I didn't have a single problem and it took off and it just like, and
How'd you feel in that space though, before Powerhouse? So before that, how were you feeling with trying these different things? I can only imagine the emotion.
well, okay, so back up a little bit.
Yeah.
I quit my job up in one
Mhm.
day. So I used to work for Mass Mutual. I had a very nice income for our family, very secure job. And I love Mass Mutual and I love my bosses. If anybody ever sees this and you know who they are, you know that they're amazing human beings. And I would work for them in any business. But my
Mhm.
dad passed away. And I was like, wait a second. Literally, like my life could be over and I'm going to do a job I'm not like crazy passionate about. This is insane. And I just like quit my job. So that was interesting. And then, I mean, you know Donovan really well. I started the first business, it wasn't working. And then I said, I'm just going to open my own real estate company. And he was like, whatever, just you do you. Like he knew at that point he wasn't going to tell me, like I had to
Yeah.
work out this.
Yes.
And I had already been in the real estate business for 10 years. It was just part time. And so, of course, I chose like the best time ever because the housing market went crazy. But I learned so much, right? But in that little space of, I'm going to try this business, it's not working. I was every single thing I did, I questioned, right? Like, what did I do here? I just left this amazing job with these amazing people.
Mhm.
Am I going to be okay? Is this going to be okay? Are we, like financially, are we going to be okay? And I don't know if you just have faith and what believe in what you're doing, I believe it's going to work out. And I let the detour take me. And even when it wasn't what I had in mind, which I'm really stubborn about,
Yeah.
and like I'm stubborn, I just went for it. Turned out okay. Here
Look
we
at
are.
that, I know. Like, big
Powerhouse
time
just turned 8
realtor,
years
anyone
old.
interested in buying a house,
Oh,
selling,
yeah,
or
Powerhouse,
buying, or whatever.
anything,
Yes,
literally.
yeah,
But we
the
just
girl.
had our 8-year anniversary for
You
Powerhouse.
did! Oh
Mhm.
gosh,
So,
congratulations.
yeah,
So look
I've
at that.
learned so much, and I mean, past my wildest dreams of expectations of what I ever thought would be possible. So, I mean, it's just great, and you gotta roll with it, and you gotta take the chance, and if you are unhappy, make a
Mhm,
change. That's
mhm.
it. Like, there's nothing more to that. Make a change.
And I think it comes back to, always my famous last words is we can't control anything. We can only be accountable to ourselves and what we do with it. So I love that it always seems to come back. Any topics that we talk about typically come back to that. Give up the freaking control.
Yep. I know, it's
Give
so
it up.
hard.
Well, it's so hard because we
Mhm.
want to hang on, and especially if you are, in control of a lot of business, a parent, you're a parent,
Yes.
running different things. You want to be in control, and I think to relinquish that, there's something so humbling about it, and it allows you then to keep moving forward in that path to find, like you did, your powerhouse, which is
Yeah,
amazing.
and now I'm bored
Mhm.
with that, of course. I mean, I'm not
Of
gonna change
course, well,
anything.
no, I think there's always room to grow. Oh
Mhm.
my god, I think if we're stale like that, that life gets stale and, you have
Right.
so many gifts, you especially, but the world
Yeah,
has so many gifts to
everybody
offer.
does. And you just have to believe in yourself. Like, I don't need validation from anybody, and I think that's a
Exactly.
humongous part of life, right? Like, even my husband, even Donovan, like, I love how much he validates me, but I don't need that from him to feel whole, and I encourage anybody watching this to find it within yourself that you can just be whole by just having your own opinions of yourself, and that's it. That's all you need.
Absolutely, absolutely. I love this too. So GPS doesn't shame us,
Mhm.
doesn't panic, doesn't scold us, just simply adjusts.
Recalculates.
I mean, I would never have thought. I love that you sent that to me because
I know.
it is such a great way to look at it. It
It
doesn't.
is.
So if we make a mistake, we just recalibrate. So
How
I
about
think,
your life though? Like, okay, so mine was more like choices and I'm not gonna do
uh,
this anymore, but what about yours? What about
yeah,
when life throws you a curveball that is so unfair, but how do you recalculate your life and just say, okay, no shame, no pity, no poor me. I'm gonna recalculate now and I'm gonna go forward having to do this, right?
well, it's funny, and we've talked a little bit. Anyone who knows my life, especially right now, without getting into detail, it is just a world.
A
Did
lot.
not express it a lot. It's like,
Right.
okay, and it is. It's knocking me for a loop. I mean, it's like when one thing happens, it just gets layered and layered and layered, and that's been life the past 6, 7 months, and especially the past 2 months. And I'm like, what the heck? But I'm gonna challenge you to say, and I am a firm believer in we don't get stuck in the victim mentality. We're gonna
Right.
move to humility. We're not gonna get stuck in all of this jealousy and judgment and control and all of these things and the anger. But you can have a moment. We're human. I
Yeah.
do have little moments of why me,
Yeah.
you know? Then I humble myself to say the sappy saying, why not me? Because I always know that there are a million times worse.
Yeah.
A million times worse. So I allow myself to have the victim moment.
And then move.
It's okay, I'm
Yeah.
human.
Yeah.
And then to keep moving through. I always say, you're not just gonna say, "Okay, I can't be a victim. My life is good. Therefore, I'm gonna go on and just be good." No, you have to still we are human beings made of emotion. We are given, God or whatever, like you said, the universe, whatever you believe your belief system is, gave us the ability to cry, and
Right.
it flushes out. I mean, that is how we do get emotions out.
Right.
So to be able to cry, I tell a lot of my clients, get
Are you
angry.
a crier?
I am either a crier or I'm not. I don't know if that sounds
Same. Same.
I can be triggered by things that are or I'll hold so much in and and I'm a fixer professionally and in
You're
life.
literally a fixer. That's
I'm
what
a
you
little
do. Yeah.
right? So, there are moments where I know I have to decompress and crying is one of my best ways. I'll
Good.
tell people, I'm like, "I'm gonna go take a bath now. It's time to cry." Actually
You know?
say that. Mhm.
Yeah.
'Cause you have to get it out somehow. Get
Yeah.
angry, scream. I think I was saying earlier I had a little potty mouth, and I'm not a little potty mouth person, but sometimes, and I'm not gonna do it here because we're not gonna, but sometimes
That helps?
only swear and get it out. So the
I
key
think so
is
that's
get it
it,
out.
like, each person's so different, and maybe every day is different, like, for the majority of the time, all of my emotions come out in anger. I think it's just because I grew up with brothers, and so, like, everybody hit, that was just, like, what we did, you know? But once in a very, very great while, it's usually when I'm just completely out of control, I can't do anything, I can't change it. Once in a great while, I will cry, but when that happens, it's like the most hysterical thing you've ever seen, it's so dramatic.
Good
But
though. It's good
but
though.
after, I'm good. Like, then I don't have anger about it, I don't whatever. I
Yeah.
need to, like, really, really cry about it, and then I'm good. But, I mean, not usually. I mean, it really I maybe cry once a year, maybe. Like, I just that's not my go-to. My go-to is anger, which is why I box, and
Mm.
which is also why you work out, because you get
I
that out.
I love how we just think alike, because I was literally just gonna say that. That's the second thing, crying, getting angry, getting that energy out physically. I mean, we both are such strong believers in that,
Yeah,
and truly, I mean, right down to the and I think you have to have a little bit of an obsession for it, and I wish that obsession on every person
everyone.
earth, because not that I like it, but you almost need that. And it is, I think, both of our biggest coping skill,
For sure. It's
our
how I
biggest coping
literally get through
strategy.
life. And I think that the consistency of I get up every day and I feel happy and I have a grateful heart is because I not 6 out of 7 days a week, if not more, I get up and the first thing I do is go work out. So it starts your body. It's not like some like magic pill. It's not some like thing I'm like telling you might happen. It's like chemistry and
Yeah,
biology. Like this is actual scientifically proven. It increases endorphins. It changes your chemical balance inside your body and it gives you that happy feeling. It's not something I'm like, "Oh, you might feel this." No, like it's gonna happen.
it's
Just
going to
trust
happen.
go do it.
Right. It's not that people are going in. I think people have the misconception too when they, and maybe you do. So I'm going to speak for myself here before I speak for you. But okay, so 4 days out of five, maybe 3 out of five, if I do go work out 5 days in a week, four of them, I'm like, "Ugh, I
Heck
don't
yeah.
want to be
Yeah.
doing this." It's not that so please understand, when right, to our
Mhm.
audience, you know, it is not that we're saying, "All right, we're going in, we can't wait to, like, just"
Yeah.
no, it's the feeling after,
Yeah.
when you get the endorphins and the cortisols,
Yep.
not the cortisol, but that's the stress hormone,
Yeah.
but the endorphins are going, and you're feeling the happy hormones, and you're feeling fulfilled, and you're feeling like that you are completed and accomplished. So that is a big thing. I keep
Yeah.
looking, I hope everyone knows I'm looking at my phone for different notes that I took on for our GPS stuff, but looking through a clinical lens. So, I love how it says how when we feel like we made a mistake and we're not recalibrating and we're not letting the GPS just kind of do its thing, clinically speaking, we feel shame typically. Shame literally is known to shut down our nervous system. So it really does have physical effects. And so reframing restores um, agency to safety. So if we were reframing something like you just said, it wasn't a mistake. I quit my job. I tried this other path. It looks like
Didn't
it
work.
failed. I quit. And here I discovered Powerhouse Realty or Realty. I don't want to say it wrong.
Real estate. Yeah.
Realty. So that's kind of reframing,
Yeah.
and reframing is saying how it worked out for the greater good. It really
You
did.
know, last night, some of you
Yeah.
may see my post. I came home last night and I was pulling into my driveway and I know when Donovan's on an interview because he's sitting where I am and the lights are on and I can see it from the street. And if I come in the house, the dog will bark. So I just sit outside until he's done. But what used to happen was I used to have to take the kids and take them and drive them around because
Mhm.
they were too little to be quiet and they would just be too not loud for his interviews. And so sadly, like I had this epiphany of like how much I miss those days and they're gone so quickly just like that. But during those days, I remember being so tired driving around with these three little boys, just saying, I just want to go home. I just want to rest and I just want to do all these things. And I had this moment of just like a humongous like hug on my heart of like, I'm going to refer back in the future to these days and I want to remember something about it. And the thing I want to remember is how I dropped everything for him and he drops everything for me. And he built something so beautiful because it was about the journey. It was about getting here or wherever here is or whatever there is. And like I heard something the other day that said, make friends for the right reasons in life because when you get to the top of that hill, there's nothing up there anyways. So
Mhm.
don't be a part of something with people to get ahead. Do it to make the connections because the journey is the best part. Once you get there, now what? I just had like this, like, I want to remember where we started. I don't even know where we're truly going with. I was referring to the Moneyball channel, his YouTube channel, where he interviews professional athletes. But I have watched him evolve over the last 2 years. And it brought such great joy to me to sit outside my house that I love, that's filled with all the people I love, and watch him do what he loves. Like, I just had this like explosive feeling of joy and gratitude. And so I made a post about it mostly for myself so I can
I
see.
saw it. No, I look at I
Yeah.
made fans here.
And
So I looked, and it was so precious. I thought
it's
it was
just
really
those
precious.
things, right? And you have to understand in life that it's not always about where am I going? What am I doing? What am I proving? What am I gaining? It's about the right here, right now. And what am I learning and what am I building inside myself? And,
Mm.
it's like, it's the little tiniest things and being present.
Sure. And so who out there, some of our viewers, who out there, if I could be questioning them and to ask, what they are struggling with. Does this resonate with them? Because my gosh, there could be, that's a quote that talks about a GPS when you make a mistake, but mistakes, shame, guilt, those mistakes could go from a tiny little thing to a humongous, event that we look at. So
Right.
I
Even
think,
like someone how many people
mm,
do we know that are in divorce, right? Like,
yeah,
how do you move forward from divorce and not say, "I was wrong. I did this. I did that." Like, it's
that's
okay. People are human. You make mistakes. We have to be able to let our forgive ourselves and move forward.
You have to, and it is hard that process. So when you're talking a little mistake, and to be honest, it all has to do with the person. So
Yeah.
trauma and anxiety and sadness and depression really has to do with how the person's
Wired.
wired, how their body takes it and absorbs it, and how
Yep.
then the process. So I almost hate to say, someone might make a little mistake and they're not going to have as big a impact emotionally or in their life moving forward as someone who is going through a divorce or has
Yeah.
experienced a death or infidelity or whatever this big mistake is. That is, I think that they can almost, with the right tools, move forward, knowing that we're human and
Yeah.
that that's going to happen. And it's a matter of learning and it's a matter of growing and evolving and just um, going in that right direction.
And
And
I know people who have chosen to forgive their spouses after
yeah,
infidelity, and they have the best relationship they've ever had since.
absolutely.
And I feel like that almost they feel ashamed about, like, well, why would I allow him or her to do that and then just say, okay, and now we're going to be okay because people aren't perfect. Nobody's
Not
perfect.
perfect.
And it
No.
someone and this is the thing too, say you're sorry. Holy crow, why is it so hard for people to take accountability and say you're sorry? If I do anything in this world, I'm gonna raise 3 little boys who grow up to be men who say, "I'm
I'm
sorry."
sorry,
Yeah.
yes. I know,
Ugh,
what's wrong with that? I
I don't
mean,
know.
it's the easiest words to say, and
It's
why
a
don't they
generational thing though too, I think, like, my mom and her generation, like, they don't say sorry. I'm like,
yeah,
"I hurt you. I'm sorry."
exactly, and that's what it's about. It's when and that's a lot of oh my gosh, it's how many parents I talk to, where they're like, "I feel bad, I yelled at my child. I feel bad I did this. I feel bad." Just talk to
Yeah,
they're gonna be the most accepting and forgiving of all,
yeah.
say you're sorry. Talk to them about, in grown up or in a kid version, I should
Kid
say.
version, yeah, yeah.
Talk to
Like,
them and
level
just tell
down.
them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
One of my son's teachers, my oh my gosh, 4th grader, my middle son. His teacher, Jackson's super literal. I've told you this, like, he's just so crazy smart, and so he's very, very literal, and she thought he was being sarcastic the other day, and so she wrote this whole thing home and, like, reprimanded him, and I said, "Listen, I am not trying to challenge you, but I just wanna explain to you how literal Jackson is." So I talked to him about it. He's like, "I meant what I said. What do you mean? I wasn't trying to make people laugh. I wasn't trying to whatever," and I wrote her a note about it, and she apologized to my son, and I was like, "I love you. Thank you." Because we're not perfect. She's not perfect. It's okay to tell a child you did something wrong.
That will
How they learn.
and that will probably impact them forever because, I mean, back in my day, way back when, the teachers, you just listened
Oh,
to them and
no.
you just took it
Right,
and you just
right.
and how many people, where even when you're a child, a teacher especially could influence you and impact you for the rest of your life.
Your life. Mhm.
So, I love that she did that
I love
because
that.
he will
Yeah.
remember that
And she
and
said they
will
had, like, a great moment, and she's like, "He's such a great kid," and they, like, have this moment, and I just
Mhm.
thought, like, I'm just so grateful that she was open. I mean, not every teacher would be like that. "I'm right, you're wrong," and I'm so grateful, and there's people in the world that are like that, and they just have these huge hearts, and they wanna do the right thing, and I think that if it's all about how we communicate, though, if I would've came at her attacking her, "You're wrong, my kid's right," but she probably would've had a different reaction,
Yes,
I
so
just
true.
think everybody has to like tone it down, take a breath, then react, and then, and communicate. Don't, you know, go crazy on people. Just communicate.
Absolutely, yeah. So that is, I love that and don't give up. I think we talked a little bit
Yeah.
if you want to talk a little bit about I don't know if we really touched on it, is just when do you know, though,
To quit.
to quit? And that
So
word that
hard.
sounds like I hate the word because I was brought up like, "Don't be a quitter."
I know. But like, where along the path do you say, this isn't working?
Right.
I'm getting every sign in the world that this isn't working. I should stop. I don't know. In your marriage, in a
Mm,
career move, in, I mean, any aspect in a friendship, in a relationship, like where
so
do you
true.
pull the plug? Pulling the plug's the hardest part. What is that one saying they say? the hardest part is leaving or once you're gone, like, it's actually pulling that plug that's so hard, but once you actually do it, you're fine. And I
Mhm.
think, like we said earlier, I think it's a feeling, right? And
Mhm.
really inside your gut, you just have to listen to yourself.
Yeah,
And for me, I'd gotten so many roadblocks with that first business, and I think I got like the 3rd or the 4th one, and I was like, "This isn't working. Like,
mm,
this isn't the time." And you know what's crazy about that is that it came back around. So 2 years ago, so 6 years later, it came back around and it became a thing again, and I've been working on it, and it's becoming a thing again.
I was just gonna
Yeah,
say that, so maybe it's just in timing too, so maybe it
timing.
is timing.
Timing is everything, and
Mm,
if I look at that now, that job would have required me to travel a lot. I wasn't even done having babies yet, but I didn't know that yet. Like, that was not a time for me to be traveling. That was my decade of having babies and raising babies, and now I have older children, and it's not older, I mean, they're little, but
yeah,
they're not
I
infants.
have older
You have older children.
yeah, my baby's
I have middle school and young elementary kids, but they're not babies, right? And so, you don't also have to say never, you can just say, "Not right now."
exactly.
And I always say that in business. I get business opportunities all the time with real estate and things. This is my best advice to anybody in business. You always say yes to a meeting. You don't know what someone's going to offer you. You never tell somebody no for a meeting. I always go and see what they have to say. And I've said this to a person I worked with in the past. I'm not telling you no, I'm telling you not right now. And then I did end up working for that person later down the road. And it's not always just like black and white, like, no, this isn't for me. Maybe it is. I just can't do it right this minute.
I
And
love
that's
that.
okay too.
I'm gonna give you another sappy Lynn
I love that.
analogy. This is the one that just came to me because 'cause I'm like, because we have a vision.
Yep.
This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do A, B, and C, and then life just slaps you across the face and says, "Okay, no,
Right.
that's
Yeah.
not the plan." So then A, B, and C, so either you can, you know, kind of throw in the towel or quit and
Mhm.
find something different, or what if by chance you're doing A, B, and C, and A, B, and C starts to evolve into something a little different than what you even planned
Right.
on. So the GPS, I was thinking about it, and just have it recalculate, if we get lost, if we get off track, if we make a mistake, but what if we recalculates, where we have to go, where recalibrates, and it brings us by, I don't know, for me, like, it just reminds me of a time we just not went too long ago to see my daughter in Pennsylvania, and we got off and recalibrated and found a Krispy Kreme. Okay, I love Krispy Kreme. So
Right.
maybe sometimes, as sappy as this is, when we detour, we find something better that we
Right.
maybe hadn't had in a while, or maybe
Right.
a vision, or maybe a
Right.
new donut. So maybe,
Yeah. Or like you have this whole setup, we're gonna go do this today with our kids.
yeah.
And then along the way, you stop somewhere else because there seems to be something that you found and it ends up being the best day you've ever had with your kids.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So don't fight sometimes when
Don't
that
fight it. Yeah.
calibrating of it
I
because
also like my view of life as a whole, and this kind of just leads into it because it's like an actual map and a GPS system. But I believe like this actually happened to us. We were driving in Florida and my son said, "Wait, dad, you missed that exit." And I was like, "What?" And we were like so close on timing. We were almost going to be late and he started to get like anxious about it. And I said, "Wait a second. Maybe we missed that exit because God was saving us from like a car accident ahead."
yeah.
Like, you don't know the reason, just take your detour. And like ever since that day, that was 3 or 4 years ago, that's how I think about life. Like if I miss something or I'm late or maybe it was supposed to be that way. My son broke both of his wrists on the same day and was taken out of baseball season for the whole year. It was a nightmare on wheels.
Sure.
And I that's what my frame of mind was. God's protecting him. He's not supposed to be on those fields. Maybe he's going to get hurt. Maybe he's going to like something could happen to him and I'm being protected and I'm going to go with it. And so I use that for every case in life now. Like, and maybe it's dumb and maybe it's not even true, but it
No,
makes me feel better. So
it's
whatever.
not dumb. I mean, it really isn't, and I challenge people to try it even in the darkest of times,
Right.
'cause it does help something internally,
Right.
and
I
to go
mean,
up that point, my husband and I got in that little, and I
I was
call it
just
our
going to say
little
that.
car accident. I like I said, layering on so much stuff, I really was mad. I really was
Yeah.
sad. I really it was not a good moment.
No.
But when I was able to process a little bit, it was like, okay, maybe we were saved from a huge accident to
Ahead.
now. Maybe we were
Yeah.
saved. So I even did do that, even
And
in it
how
was
many
hard for me
like
to say it.
I know,
It
because you're
did.
still so angry that it even happened. But
Yeah.
how many, like, 60-car pileups have you seen in the news the last, like, there because it's been so icy. I have a friend that got in a car accident, left the car accident, and got in another car accident on the way home.
Ah,
I was like, "How does this happen?" Like,
it's
this
crazy.
is crazy. But even for that, and weren't you guys were on the way to Roswell, weren't you? So,
Yeah.
like,
Actually, we're on the way home from Orange Theory, and it was one of those very icy days, and, it was in the McKinley Mall there, I shouldn't be saying, but and this guy was just kinda plowing through and
yeah,
T-boned into
yeah,
my sight. There was nothing we could do. He was on the
right,
side of a building, so you couldn't even see him coming, and it was terrible. I mean, I
terrible.
ended up with a concussion. I ended I was so
Yeah,
worried about Phil, who's
right.
ill. It was terrible, and it was just not that there's ever good timing, but it was
Couldn't
terrible.
be worse for your life.
Exactly.
Right.
So, but I do try to thank God for, like I said, it could have been so much worse. Phil, by rights, I always tell him, I'm like, "We had angels for sure. It shouldn't have come we shouldn't have ended up with just a concussion," and thankfully he was okay, except we're banged up a little and sore. The car is
Yeah.
total. The car is totaled.
Gosh. I
Okay?
know car
So
crash.
that tells you we should be, like, probably hurting worse.
Yeah,
So I am thankful. I had gratitude. I'm like, "Thank you," because I pray like a
yeah,
crazy woman. It's not my kids ever. So I'm like, "Thank you,
right.
it was me. Thank you,
Yeah,
it
yep,
was
yep.
thank you that it was me and not them."
We've talked about this. There is nothing in the world that will ever trump the health of my children. Like,
Nothing.
that's it for me. So
Yeah,
anything else you throw at me, I got it. I will, it's okay. But that, I, dear God, listen, I can't handle that.
me
Like,
too. That's what I'm like. I mean,
yep.
throw it my way. I'd rather take it and
But you know what that is? All of this is, you know what it is? No matter what way you want to think about it or frame it or turn it, it's being an eternal optimist, right? Like making that choice. I say this all the time to Donovan, and I mean, you know Donovan so well. So when I say these things, you totally get where I'm
Donovan.
coming from. Happiness is a choice. People don't wake up and just like have happiness. Like, yeah, I feel bad too sometimes. I don't. People also think that I get up and I'm like, yes, let's go to the gym. I mean, some days I feel like that, but most
I
of the time
know.
I feel like everybody else. Why do I do this to myself? It's 5 o'clock in the morning and I have to go right now and go. And I'm like, why? And then I get done and I'm like, okay, I'll do it again. But happiness is a choice. You have to trick yourself every single day.
Hmm.
And it's something you work on every single day. Just like you'd work on your biceps every single day to make them big, you have to work on your brain every single day and trick it into thinking that you're happy. Take
Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude.
gratitude.
Like it's a full-time job,
Yep.
gratitude.
Yep.
Prayer, whatever say your prayers, whatever it is that
Yeah, it
it's
doesn't matter. Put anything that comes into your mind that you just gotta block it. Nope, that's not good enough and switch it. And it's actively hard to do, especially when you're all pissy about something. I have
will
something on
do.
my computer from when I was when my dad was dying and I had postpartum for one of my babies and I was just not in a good way. And I started writing. I had such bad anxiety and I started writing about anxiety because I wanted to help other people. And I was reading it the other day and I wrote I don't know, it's almost like an entry. It was like a daily entry. And I wrote an entry about how when you don't feel good and you're not in the right mind space, my own optimism on things that I would read and write would annoy me. So like if I'm being annoyed by myself when I'm in a bad way, I can't imagine how other people feel about me when I'm in a bad way, or when they're in a bad
Some
way.
of them are throwing things at our screen probably right
I
now.
know, like,
That's
shut up.
okay.
I don't
We'll
have to be
take it.
happy.
We'll take it because you don't, but it is like exercising your
It is.
cognition. It is,
It,
and eventually it does catch up to your what you're expressing and what you're
yeah.
thinking.
And
Eventually,
then it's
that's
what you output, and then it's the vibe
yeah.
that you attract too, right?
Absolutely,
Mhm.
absolutely. So it is a lot of that, and life isn't fair, and I feel like heavy. It feels so heavy sometimes, and you think like you're not going to get through.
Yeah.
Find your skills, find your people, find the healthy avenues, and a Krispy Kreme donut if you get detour
Yes.
happen to find
Yeah.
one.
I love that.
But
Yeah.
find it and make sure you're using that to get through, and eventually you will catch up and find your thing.
Yeah.
So
I love this topic so much.
I know. I feel like we can spend days and that. And again, we haven't been on in a while, so I'm so happy to be with my girl here.
Yes. I'm
It's been a
sorry, guys. It's
while.
been busy.
It's been busy
Yeah.
holidays, and I don't even know if we did one. Have we done anything since then? Like maybe
I don't
one.
know. It's been a
Maybe
lot. Yeah. Maybe
but
one.
any topics, so anyone that subscribes to our channel, our YouTube channel, we would love that. We appreciate it and get the word out. I have a lot of people watching. They're waiting, they're texting me daily, waiting for new episodes. So I'm so happy we are able to do this. We're going to do as many more as we can now that we're hopefully through
Yes. The
a
hard
lot of
part
different
of
things.
the
That's
holidays and getting there. So you guys out there watching, I mean, you have literally a licensed mental health person at your fingertips. What
Yeah,
do you want to know? Like, give us
let's talk.
topic because
Let's talk.
let's talk. Like whatever it is. Also, it's confidential. Like we will never say, "Oh, so and so said to me." Like, no, no, no.
Exactly.
Like
No,
it'll just be public forum. Like nobody's names, no nothing like that. We'd love. Our
absolutely.
whole point of being here is to help, right? Like I was in a bad place once. I got out of it because of people like you, therapists, and the right things. And I want to help because I know now that being in a bad place, you can get out of it. I know that you can go through hell and just keep on moving.
And
And
truly, Trish, and thank you for the compliment. And to tell you though, even though you don't have the license as a therapist, you can truly be a therapist with your light that continues to shine. You always bring
I
that
don't know.
sunshine to me, which
Yeah.
I love and appreciate so much. So you are, as much as I might have the license, you do have the skills and the
Yeah. I always joke that I should get paid therapy hours too
yeah.
because if you're selling a house to people, you
Yes.
become best friends. I'm not kidding. Yeah, so I feel like and then it's a very tense situation, right, most of the time because it's a lot of money and it's a lot of things that
Nice.
people don't normally do together, so in the marriage, I feel like it's very, like, uh, I don't know what the good word is for it, but it's different, and so I feel like I should have been paid therapy hours today. I
Yes.
saved that fight.
I think for sure. So I love that that optimism because it is something that we can continue to feed our viewers. And hopefully if there's some way that they can get to us with any topics that they want, our viewers are interested, I would love to hear. Because the last episodes we just got a lot of positive feedback. So I'm hoping to keep that
Yeah,
going. And
yeah,
yeah, so we'll see what next our next episode brings, hopefully soon. And that's it. I'm glad
yeah.
to be with you and all of our viewers.
Well, thank you guys so much for watching, and we will catch you again soon.